New segment time, your news. Alright, so I gotta start sharing my screen. Go live. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, that is not the one I want. There we go. Alright, so Musk and Bezos battle it over for space dollars. SpaceX is awarded $170 million contract for NASA's first mission to Jupiter's moon Europa in 2024, as Bezos offers billions if the space agency works with his Blue Origin. So basically, this is their Clipper mission. This is their predecessor mission to their one where they're going to put the robot under the ice. I thought it was actually their ice mission. It's not. They must be behind schedule on that. But this is super exciting. I find it funny that, like, literally...
Wait, are they racing?
No. What I find funny... Well, it's a...
Wait, go back to the title.
Well, basically, so... You know, Jeff just launched that Blue Origins rocket, right? Where he went to space and stuff.
Yeah.
And he wants to build a... he wants to build this big rocket, and so that he can get contracts from NASA, because he's offering the same thing that Elon is doing. But Elon, of course, is reputable. You know, he's done this, you know, multiple times.
Yeah.
Bezos is kind of new. So, anyways, this is super exciting. The fact that NASA was just like, yeah. SpaceX are doing this, so yeah. With the
think about the whole idea of commercializing spaceflight.
What about it?
Well, I mean, there have been notable people in the past, such as Neil Armstrong, who have actually gone against the idea of commercializing spaceflight.
Oh, why was he? What was he?
I forget.
What did he have against it? So, anyways, actually, I learned when Jeff went to space the other day, he actually didn't go high enough to get his wings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
how much higher did he need to go?
I don't know, but he did make it to space.
Oh, what?
Which is a shame for the woman that was with them, because, like, that was her whole thing. She was going to get to go to space on the Mercury missions, but NASA canceled them in favor for the Apollo program and sexist reasons. And so she never got to go to space. She still didn't get to go to space. Bezos just like, yeah, sure, yeah, you'll go to space.
How far off? You don't know how far off they were?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I just heard he didn't get his wings. He's not an astronaut, technically. Which requires you to get your wings.
How much does the ISS break it by?
I don't know. Either way, I thought it was kind of funny. Bezos builds a penis rocket so that he can go to space. Doesn't even get to space. And yeah. And it was a mediocre experience from what I've read. Like, well, one of the people there, like the woman who was going to be on the Mercury missions, she was like, it was cramped. Couldn't really do anything. And it was meant to hold 6 people. So, like, and there were only 4 people on this one. So, and I think his seats are overpriced. I think the Falcon 9 seating would be much cheaper. And you could probably go into orbit.
Well, hang on. So, the FFA says the boundary between atmosphere and space begins 50 miles up. Bezos met the requirement going 62 miles above sea level. However, to earn wings, the FFA now states passengers must have demonstrated activities during the flight that were essential to public safety or contributed to human flight safety.
So
All they did was go up there and look down. They didn't demonstrate any activities during the flight for humanity.
So because he went up there selfishly, he didn't
Yeah.
get his wings. Oh,
Space tour. So basically, from now on, anyone who goes up into space for space tourism, hang on, thanks to the fully automated flight systems, nobody was piloting the craft, nor contributing to. So I guess if you were the pilot, you would have.
oh,
However, the pilot was fully automated. The craft was fully automated, so no one got their wings.
what
Because
about
if there was a
people
pilot, he would have demonstrated human space flight safety, and he would have got his wings.
But what about the astronauts that go up in SpaceX's capsule? Because that's fully automated.
I don't know.
But they go
I
up in
have
the
to read
ISS, and they do
They
research.
they
for
probably
humanity.
don't then.
Really?
If they don't do, well, actually, maybe they did, because what's interesting is that the FFA, the Federal Aviation Administration, set new rules concerning commercial spaceflight astronaut wings program, and the criteria for those commanding pilots was issued on July 20th.
Oh.
The same day, Bezos went up in his Blue Origin.
Yeah, let's go, U.S. government.
Literally the same day, the FFA said, "You know what? No, space tourism. Nope, does not count."
Ow.
So I'm thinking that those pilots that were a part of SpaceX were grandfathered in. So they probably didn't get their wings. But Bezos, the FFA, they just wanted to mess with him. They're like,
They gave him the middle finger. They gave him the middle
literally, it's a big FU kinda.
finger. It is. That's funny.
You don't get your wings.
You know, but okay, so I'm curious now. So, does any other astronauts that go to the ISS, excluding the commander of the ISS, do they not get their wings then?
I suppose, according to this new rule,
That's
they
annoying.
have to demonstrate something. It says they have to demonstrate something along the lines of human space flight safety
Oh, maybe. I guess if they do a
or
spacewalk.
public safety. Spacewalk, yeah.
So if they do a spacewalk, so you have to do a spacewalk. So basically, what they're saying is you either have to command the ISS or do a spacewalk.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. What happened? Oh, or walking on the moon. So how's this gonna work when we go to the moon? And we have space tourism on the moon. Or they get to change it again?
I guess we'll find
Elon
out.
starts spending.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep changing it. That way they can limit. They want your astronaut wings to mean something special.
Why couldn't they just make two different astronauts?
Wait, but did Adam Savage get his wings?
That's a good point. The YouTube people do get their wings.
Because I'm pretty sure Adam Savage went in a space flight. He went in the Virgin Galactic, right?
No, he was on a U2.
Or the U2. I remember he got a once in a lifetime opportunity to go up into space. Well, at that time it was a once in a lifetime opportunity, but 50 years from now, you could probably buy your way in.
50 years from now, you could buy a ticket to the moon and spend your weekend on the moon.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna say 100 years from now, you can buy a ticket to the moon. 50 years from now, I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
I don't think so. I mean, a weekend is probably... You can't get to the moon in a day. But...
2070. By the year 2070, I bet for a very expensive price, you could maybe spend the weekend up in the moon.
I mean, you could do it now
Very
for a very
pricey.
expensive price.
What?
You could probably do it now for a very expensive price.
Alright, if Bezos was like, alright, I'll give NASA $100 billion to send me to the moon, they still have to build him a rocket.
Well, okay, so no, okay, so let's say once SpaceX finishes the Falcon Heavy, not the Falcon Heavy, the Starship and the Falcon booster. Once that's finished, theoretically, you can go to the moon whenever the hell you want. Because the thing is Mars and moon capable.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is call up Daddy Musk like, hey, Musk, hey, I've got a few extra $1 million laying around. Can I go to the moon next week? Sure. Can I go to the moon next year? Sure. Why not? You get your own private starship. You'll fly up into space. You'll land on the moon, walk around. So the question will be, when commercialized walking on the moon becomes a thing, are they going to have to change it?
Yeah, when you can walk on the moon?
Yeah, when just any schmuck can go walk on the moon. Because
Yeah.
even then, like, what's it going to be? Oh, only if you go to Mars. Is that what the next limit's going to be? And then what's after that?
I don't know.
Europa? What's after that? Intergalactic space?
When does it end?
It doesn't. Okay, what happens when I can just go to Alpha Centauri for the weekend? Because we've developed warp drives. Or we've developed wormhole technology and you can just walk through a portal into the orbit of Alpha Centauri and have a picnic on one of their planets.
I think you would need a warp drive for Alpha Centauri. I mean, because even at light speed, it's still 4 years.
Well, no. A warp drive can allow you
Alpha Centauri is 4 light years away, though.
Yeah, but Alpha Centauri allows you to go faster than the speed of light because you're not moving. Space is.
Warp drive does.
Yeah. You could go there
So
in a
Alpha
day.
Centauri does.
But if I don't know how feasible opening up a wormhole in space and walking through is. I don't know how feasible that is.
Yeah.
I mean, if that is a thing, you could go anywhere in the universe.
Well, the thing is, supposedly any sort of man-made wormhole, theoretically, no, practically is unstable.
Right.
Only way to create a wormhole is to find a wormhole.
Oh.
The only way to use a wormhole is to find a wormhole.
That's annoying.
Because apparently, I guess they're just mathematically unstable for us to create.
Damn.
I think it's because it requires negative energy to sustain them.
Oh, yeah, that is a problem. Negative energy is not a thing.
Yeah.
Bummer. But, okay, either way, Warp Drive still gets you to Alpha Centauri in a day. It can get you into Andromeda in a week. The question is, what's the limit then? At that point, everybody gets to go to space. So is it? So do you become an astronaut as like a exploring new planets? But then, like, a million years, but like 2,000 years in the future, and everybody's just got a warp drive as a car. It's like, honey, I got a new job. Oh, that's great. Where is it? It's an Andromeda.
The only thing is, maybe they can always, extend it, to like a time frame. Like you'd be up there, for like a week or something.
Yeah, but if you're driving to Andromeda every day for your job, how? Like I said,
Okay.
it's going to be extra.
I think we need to rethink this whole humanity. Your job is in Andromeda. Are we even talking about humans anymore?
Why not?
By the time we get to that, I feel like we have evolved way past Homo sapiens to the point humans are now in a new phylum.
Oh. 2,000 years.
Okay.
2,000
We
years.
are so far into the future. What we call humans, this new generation of humans, have an entirely new phylum. Okay.
I mean, once we develop one warp drive, theoretically, all it takes is for us to figure out how to replicate it and make it cheap.
Yeah.
And then it'll be available to the mass market like a car. Which means I can go to wherever I want, whenever I want, however I want. And I think the limit to be an astronaut will literally be you will have to go in a
Oh man. I said 62 miles that's the 60 miles is like the Kármán line, I think. Anyways, 62 miles is how far Bezos went up. The ISS is 254. They aren't even close to ISS heights.
I wouldn't think so. That would cause problems. Anyways, so yeah, driving
But
to
see,
and
if I was going to go on a trip like that, I'd want to at least go on one rotation around the Earth.
So you want to orbit?
I want to go on one orbit because right now, I mean, the ISS one orbit is 90 minutes. Okay, hour and a half space flight would be amazing. Like I feel like that would be totally worth it because you would have got to have seen the entire Earth.
Oh yeah, but what if you're some poor sap that ends up on one of the crappy jumps and it's just like over ocean the entire time?
Well, see, that's the thing. I'd want the nighttime to be over the U.S. Because
sexting on a rocket. On the
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Flying over Africa during the night isn't going to be very thrilling.
That is true.
No offense, but it's kind of
sorry,
true.
Africa. You don't have anybody.
You don't have much light pollution, which just means it's great. It's a good place to go stargazing.
Oh yeah, there's a part timer at work when he goes to.
They go stargazing in the Sahara.
He's not in the Sahara. I don't remember where they are in Africa. They're somewhere on the East Coast. I don't remember where they go though. And he says you can see the Milky Way, and it's breathtaking.
Oh.
I'm just like, I'm jealous.
Don't worry. September 4th, you'll get your chance.
If we get to see it. Oh,
see, this is why I'm planning. This is why I'm looking at to find multiple locations, because if we're doing this, we're not driving all the way out there for it to be cloudy. Okay. I'm telling you that right now. We are not driving out all the way out there for it to be cloudy.
What are we going to do? Question. What are we going to do during the day?
Oh, well, I have plans for that too. I'll get into that. I'm going to find like 3 or 4 locations that we can go to. That way we can, and I'm going to have them fairly spaced out. That way the odds of it all being bad weather is very unlikely.
I mean, provided... I don't know what August is going to look like this year. August has been pretty rainy the past few years. However, I don't know what it's going to look like out west. They've been in a drought. They could theoretically persist through the drought. It's hard to say. I don't know. The first week of September is usually pretty sunny. Usually. Hard to say. I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions, and then we.
That's why I'm just saying I'm going to find I'm not trying to say I'm going to find at least 4 locations that are fairly spread out. You know, I don't want them all right next to each other. I'm going to try to find at least 4 locations that are fairly spread out, and I'll be monitoring all of them throughout the week, and we're going to go to. Hopefully they're all good, but we want to go to the top location, but then we'll have some backups. Sub-locations, provided the number 1 spot is ruled out. Anyways, during the day, some things that we could go out to. We wanted to remember we're going to go out to Alliance, look at the Alliance turntable. Oh, right. But I also wanted to go to North Platte because 2 reasons. One, it's near Lake McConaughey, which is the largest lake within the state of Nebraska. Technically, I think it is technically larger than Lewis and Clark Lake. Lewis and Clark Lake is a lake that lies along the Missouri River, but technically borders between Nebraska and South Dakota. However, Lake McConnell is within the entire state. It's huge.
Right.
I want to go out there to the largest lake in Nebraska. And then after that, the world's largest rail yard is in the state too. That's also in North Platte.
Oh, it's in North Platte.
It's in North Platte as well. So we have a few things to do out in North Platte. I think it was like an hour and a half away from Alliance or something like that.
Fair enough.
2 hours. And if we wanted to, I did look it up. The southern corner beneath that is an hour away.
Oh no, not this again.
I mean, it actually looks like a decent road. I looked at it. It looks like a decent road. And you don't have to walk there.
Oh,
the other one, the very northeastern corner, we were going to have to walk there.
Oh, I know.
The road ended. Anyways.
Road ended.
It's like an hour away.
That.
So it was like an hour away. And so I figured, maybe we can check it out. Maybe. If we still have a whole bunch of... Because, I mean, if we end up staying there for 2 days, we're going to have a whole nother day to waste.
True.
Why not?
I suppose.
And so those were the two main things.
California.
Buffalo Bill Cody's house is also out there. It's a sight to see. It's not something to drive all the way out to Nebraska for, but it is cool. Then another thing was, on the way back, well, I guess the
Arch.
Kearney.
Yep.
Because I would like to take Highway 2 going out there. But maybe we can find a route to get onto Highway. Well, I guess I don't. It'd probably be it might be out of our way. But to get onto Highway 2 after Kearney.
It would be out of our way to get.
Yeah. Maybe that could be on the way back or something.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to stop at Kearney.
Oh shoot! No, it'll be Labor Day. Because if we do that Monday, it'll be Labor Day.
Yeah, so we'd have to do that going there.
More than likely.
Are they closed on Labor Day?
I would assume so.
Oh.
That or it's going to be very packed.
That is true.
Because it is State Fair weekend.
Mm.
So there's already going to be extra traffic on the roads.
Yeah.
This is going to be a busy weekend out there. It's Labor Day weekend, so.
Yeah, but we'll be out in the middle of nowhere.
True.
I will say Lake McConnell will be very busy because it's Labor Day.
Yeah. I get
People will be out there at the lake.
Okay, we can discuss this.
Out in the middle of Bohonk, Nebraska, there will be nobody. Which means even less light pollution.
Right. Anyways, I had one more article. So NASA has launched an internal investigation into whether it should rename the James Webb Telescope after claims that James Webb was anti-LGBT plus, and there's a whole government purge going on, quote unquote, going through and talking about getting rid of all that stuff. So
Really?
yeah,
They're going to rename the James Webb Telescope.
potentially NASA is launching an investigation to figure out if James Webb is actually anti-gay.
And if he was, they're going to rename it?
Yep. I like the name James Webb. It's a lot easier to remember. But you know what's interesting about the James Webb Telescope? If they got it launched several years ago, it would have been a great asset. However, it's been delayed so much that technology has progressed far enough that we have ground-based telescopes that are bigger, and because we've solved the atmospheric interference problems, they're better.
So, I'm sorry, say it again?
So because it took so long for NASA to finally get the James Webb Telescope launched, that we have developed better, bigger telescopes here on the ground, and we've figured out how to fix the atmospheric interference problems.
Yeah.
So they're better telescopes than the James Webb in every way.
Really?
Yeah.
So what happens if those telescopes were in space?
Well, they would be even better. But the thing about space telescopes is that A, there's that delay, B, they're expensive, and C, they're hard to maneuver. Here on the ground, the only problem is if there's a cloud. Otherwise, and light pollution. Otherwise, they're vastly superior because we can make much larger telescopes here on the ground than we can put into space currently. With current launch systems.
Hey, just wait till we put a telescope on the other side of the moon, okay?
Well, you can put it on either side. So I saw, while I was looking for articles, some Indian astronomer has proposed that we build a gravitational wave detector on the moon.
Gravitational wave detector on the moon.
So, like we have them here on Earth, we put them on the moon.
Ah.
They said we would be able to see up to 70% of the universe.
Really?
Yeah. Now, granted, we could just put one in orbit and it would do the same thing and better, but maybe the moon's cheaper. I don't know. I feel like just building one in orbit be a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one won't be impeded by the sun, so I just feel like building one on the moon that's a big hassle.
Man, I wonder what the Milky Way though would look like if you were on the moon. I mean, like, you have literally reached absolute zero in terms of light pollution, in terms of artificial lights, and there is next to zero atmosphere.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're on a spacewalk at night,
it'd be very
technically
cold.
it's always night, but I mean like on the dark, I mean like when it's nighttime on Earth.
Yeah.
You're doing your spacewalk.
I mean, the astronauts did say that you like during the day on the moon, you couldn't really see any stars.
Oh, really?
No, because the sun's too bright.
Oh, well, yeah.
It drowns everything out. But at night, I don't remember what they talked about at night. I don't know if they ever got to see the moon at night. I don't think they did. I don't think they were there long enough.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
They were there 3 days.
They're there 3 days, and a cycle is 29. Well, if it was a full moon, they would have had to wait 12 days or whatever.
It was a full moon. Funny
Yeah,
enough.
so they would have had to wait 12 days. So that way now, the light side of the moon is now facing away from the sun.
I don't know why I know that or why I remember that, but it was a full moon when they went to space. The day it launched, it was a full moon.
Hmm.
So anyways, back to building telescopes in space. Yeah, so do you want to know how they counteracted the atmospheric interference?
Oh, yeah.
So basically, what they do is they shoot lasers up into the upper atmosphere, and they measure the interference problems. And basically, these telescopes are made of hundreds of tiny mirrors, and each mirror is actuated differently by a servo. And so the computers take the information from these lasers and are like, okay, so we know what the atmospheric interference is, and it can adjust it. And the pictures, but there was like a test photo of what.
Well, do you have a name of one of these telescopes?
They're like,
Or what do I just look up? Atmospheric. Or
like new massive telescopes on Earth or whatever. Anyways, new ground-based telescopes. Point is, but they're made of these I don't know. I say they're small, but they're pretty big mirrors still. But anyways, and each one is actuated independently. And so basically, they change them constantly to account for the atmospheric interference. And so there was a picture of Neptune, like Neptune from normal ground-based telescopes, and Neptune from these new ones. And it was literally as good, if not better, than the Hubble Space Telescope. And the James Webb only does infrared anyways, so... Actually, that's most of these telescopes do anyways. They don't even do visible light anymore. It's all infrared. Because that's where all the interesting stuff is to study. Nothing's interesting in the visible. But Phil is clearly not listening anymore.
Well, no, I'm on the ISS. You can see the Milky Way in all its glory.
Sounds pretty cool. Again, I can't wait to go out there. This will be exciting. Have you seen the Milky Way?
Oh. Oh, I don't know. There was one time, one specific night I remember. I remember it was, I don't remember what month it was, because it kind of matters. I want to say it was during the winter, which means it was not the Milky Way. Well, it could have been the Milky Way. It was not the galactic center. But I remember one night I went out there, and I want to say it was during the winter because it was kind of cold actually. But I just remember going outside, and it was just a crystal clear night.
Where were you?
There were more stars than I had ever seen before, and I don't know what it was. But I just remember looking, and I think it was kind of cold. And I think it was cold too, which means that the air saturation was very low. Not a lot of humidity and all that.
Where were you?
Outside. Here.
Like here at home or?
At my parents' house, yeah.
Oh.
I went outside the driveway because I had to go out to my car or whatever, or I was maybe I was coming home from a friend's house. It was like 1 a.m. or something. So it was middle of the night, no moon, and it was just beautiful.
But
where I was going with this is that I remember seeing very dark patches up overhead.
No
almost.
Way. No.
Yes.
Way.
Very dark patches. It almost resembled clouds, but yet that could have been the Milky Way I was looking at.
Maybe.
But it was a crystal clear night, and so I don't think they were actual clouds. I think I was seeing the Milky Way. They were very dark patches, like dark patches that made me think they were clouds. But I think I was looking at the Milky Way.
Either way, I still technically hold the record.
Why? Oh, you can confirm you saw the Milky Way?
No, but I've been to a much darker place.
Oh. Where'd you go?
Kyle still beats us because he's been up to Minnesota.
Did he see the Milky Way?
I thought he said he had.
I see.
Anyways.
What'd you say, though?
Between us, though, I've seen...
Where did you go?
North Bend.
North Bend. Oh, when we were out in...
So we were out on Highway 2 in the Sandhills.
It's kind of funny. We literally drove through dark patches. If we did that trip during the night, just, pop out some lawn chairs, that's what we should do. We drive out to, like, Scotts Bluff or something, overnight, and then, and then that way, we're driving out there overnight. We'll be driving by at 5 in the morning, or 4 in the morning, and we'll already be out there. It's like, let's just take a little pit stop.
You're gonna kill us. Our circadian rhythms are gonna be shot.
Oh, see, that's the thing. We would need to adjust. We would need to give ourselves about 2 weeks to get to the sleep pattern.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, I would have been well trained for this event.
I would
you know,
not.
about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, probably 7 months ago, during January. It was about the. Well, no, I take it back. I think it's December.
No. Either way, I hold the record.
Yeah.
North Bend. It's been a long.
Did you see the Milky Way though?
I don't remember. It's been a long, long time. I don't even remember why we were out there. We were out there for some.
So I guess in a way, I hold the record for the darkest sky remembered.
Remembered. I just remember seeing more stars than I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that's how it was for me. And I remember telling my mom about that too, because I want to say I think it was 2 years ago. It was recent. It was like, it was either last year.
I've been outside when it's pitch black at my parents'. I've never.
Well, the thing is, honestly, maybe it was 2017. Because I remember during 2017, around the time of the solar eclipse, I got super interested in astronomy, and more precisely, like moon phases. I was always watching the moon, like almost every single day, trying to find it. Because I was, at one point, I watched the moon cycle down to the point that you could no longer see it because the new moon was right behind this, because the new moon was effectively following the sun. I remember for almost a month or two, I was constantly keeping track of where the moon was in the sky, because it comes it's 50 minutes to an hour later each day to reach that same position.
Yeah.
And
I've always been interested, so this isn't like.
But I want to say, and then I remember also going outside doing a lot of stargazing and learning constellations too. Maybe it was 2018 or something like that. But I just remember going outside, and I just remember oh my gosh, what is this I'm looking at? And I remember telling my mom about this, and she was like, "Yeah, I noticed that the other day." I was like, "Man, there are a lot of stars out here." Even my mom noticed. It was around that same time, and I was like, I swear I saw dark patches.
There's no way. It's not possible.
I don't know. It depends, because on one of those things I sent, let's see. Forget what the name of this. What's this name of the scale? It's called.
Anyways, I have seen
The Bortle scale.
the Bortle scale.
Bortle scale.
I'm gonna tell you, I've done. I think I have more hours night stargazing. You might have more hours than me at this point, since you worked at night all the time. But
yeah, well, yeah. At one point, because see, when I was doing my night crew shifts, I remember just look at the sky. That was another thing. I was also trying to find the ISS. It took me about 3 weeks, so I finally got the perfect time. Because you have to be outside at 6 or 7 in the morning, or 8 o'clock at night. Because it has to be either right before sunrise, or right after. That way there's enough light, not too much. Because
I might.
You can't have too much light, otherwise the ISS will be completely drowned out. But yet you need enough light that way the light can reflect off the ship and back down to Earth.
Yeah, I have other than when I went for those morning walks back in high school, I learned the constellations. I wasn't learning constellations. I was learning stars.
So, if I'm correct in saying that if the Bortle scale is 4, then it says the Milky Way is visible but lacks detail.
So it is possible.
At a level 5, the Milky Way is very weak or invisible.
So that it is possible.
Lincoln is about a 7. Light pollution makes the entire sky gray. Milky Way is totally invisible.
Almost all stars are invisible in Lincoln.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see some planets. Actually, there was. Well, see, when I was living at the View, there were a couple nights where I was able to see a few stars. A few actual stars. For a couple nights.
Damn. We need. I want to see. I want to build a house out west.
Yeah.
But can we build a cabin?
That'd be cool. We build a log cabin up there.
Log cabin. But we build a cabin, kind of, basically, essentially.
Yeah.
And we just go out there, some random weekends or whatever, to go look at the stars.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we would need jobs to be and take like a week off or something.
Because see, what would be really cool is to ignore all like charts and star tables and all that, and start from ground zero, mapping the stars. So, if you watch the stars long enough, you'll see them move. And the term for planets is wandering stars. So what we do is we literally start mapping out the lights in the sky as they travel and move across. And we give them our own names. And then, so basically, effectively, we're naming the stars as we would call them, like as the Greeks did.
Problem
and then
is,
we can compare that.
The stars. I have some of the stars already memorized, and some of the planets.
Yes, but if you're completely out,
and I know their locations.
No, but what I'm saying that if you're completely out west, you can see even more stars. Now you can start naming stars you haven't yet to see.
Yeah, but talking about if we're gonna name Venus, I know we're.
Yes, obviously something like Ursula Minor. Yes, I get it.
Ursa Minor. We're talking about the little
Ursula
Dipper.
Minor, the Little Dipper.
The Little Dipper. So here's the thing about the Little Dipper.
That's where Polaris is.
No, that's Ursa Major.
I'm pretty sure it's Ursula Minor, isn't it?
Oh, maybe it is. Well, either way.
Ursula Minor is yeah. I'm pretty sure Ursula Minor is the Polaris.
Ursa. It's not Ursula. It's Ursa.
Ursa.
Anyways, the Little Dipper, actually, if you go out west, it gets drowned out. From what I've read, is that if it gets too dark, the Little Dipper gets drowned out.
Yeah, Polaris is in Ursa Minor.
So I was right then. The Little Dipper is Ursa Minor.
I said it was Ursa. I said it was minor. You said it was major.
I said the Big Dipper is Ursa Major. You said the Big Dipper was Ursa Minor.
Which it is.
No, the Big
Ursa Minor is the Little Dipper.
That's right. The Big Dipper is Ursa Major. I said that. You said
yes, but Polaris is part of Ursa Minor.
Right, I know that. But you
you said no.
That's right. But previously you said that the Big Dipper was Ursa Minor. You previously said
no, I didn't. You said that.
I will rewind this and you can listen to it. You said the Big Dipper was Ursa Minor. And I was like,
no,
you're
I'm
wrong.
pretty sure I said the Little Dipper.
You said the Big Dipper.
Little Dipper.
I will rewind this, and
can you rewind it?
I can't, not while we're recording. I can do it after, but you clearly said that the Big Dipper is Ursa Minor, and I'm like, no, you're wrong, and you're like, no, no, and I was like, okay, maybe you're right, and then that's when you were like, but then you looked it up, and then you're like, oh, you're wrong, and I'm like, I was just saying what you were saying.
All right. Well, either way, okay.
That's
whatever the case may be that I said. Anyways, I still think it'd be cool though to still name other stars that you have yet to see.
Well, yeah, but I mean, out west you're not going to see the Polaris anyways, so it gets drowned out. Which,
Yeah.
you know, amazing as that. It's like, wow, there's so many damn stars that the Little Dipper gets drowned out. Anyways,